Welcome back.
Welcome, y'all.
Welcome back to another edition of the Wheat and White Bread podcast.
The wheat and white bread.
We're going to do another edition of Murder Monday. I think this is number 3, right?
And before we get this party rolling, let us from the Wheat and White Bread send our condolences out to all of the families who were affected by that Nashville school shooting. Pretty much, and anybody and everybody else who's going to be on this show.
Yeah.
We really be like, man, when we be sitting here going over these stories before we come to y'all.
Senseless violence going on.
Man, I mean, for real. We ain't even going to come with all of it today because we got quite a few of them already. They piled up so quick.
Enough for a couple of shows. But this first story, like you mentioned before, this Nashville shooting. I don't know what's going on here, but I don't know why people just keep showing up at these schools and killing these little kids. I mean, I don't know why they're killing people in general, but you show up at an elementary school with an assault rifle. You know, there's something might be something wrong with you, mentally. You know,
or you know, that's why we have to wait till we get all of the facts, cause we don't know what's going on.
Well,
we don't know what happened. All we know is that information is coming in pieces.
There's been 6 victims.
Yeah, we do know 6 people died. Three kids and 3 adults.
3 kids.
8 and
Evelyn,
2 of them 9.
Evelyn D. Koss, if I get people's names wrong, I apologize. Haley Scruggs and William Kinney, all 9 years old.
Yeah.
And then you got Cynthia Peak, a substitute teacher.
Mike Hill, a custodian.
Mike Hill, custodian, both 61, and Catherine Kuntz. Dr. Kuntz was the head of the school. This was the Covenant School. I think it's a private school.
Christian Academy School.
200 students.
Yeah.
This is. It's only preschool through 6 years old. So you show.
I don't know, y'all. I mean, I don't know, White Bread. It baffles me. And then she shoot the lock off the door. 28-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Shoots the lock off the door to make her way into the school. You know, it's no excuse. I mean, we can sit here and talk about it, but you can't justify nobody doing nothing stupid like that. I mean, and thank God that it wasn't worse than what it could have been. Yeah. You know, it's tragic that the 6, but it could have been 16.
It's so rare to be a woman too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's so rare to be a woman. I mean, this.
Yeah.
So 5th woman. Then we got 168 males. I mean, it's just there's just a lot of stuff that doesn't line up here. Obviously, another attack on a school. Nobody wants to see that. Unfortunately, it's kind of becoming the norm in this country. It seems that you can't be safe. You always have to have that in the back of your head when you send your kids to school. Someone might show up and start shooting the place up, and hopefully the first responders get there in time, and hopefully they do a good job. Like these, the responders who showed up at this school were able to neutralize her pretty quickly once they showed up.
Yeah, well, see, I was watching CNN before I came over, and they was having 2, or so they say. I don't know. We all just getting fed now, but they said that they wasn't sure if she didn't commit suicide in the process of the shootout with the police.
Well, I had read something, that's like I said, this is all. The information is so new. We're doing this podcast literally a couple hours after this happened. So all the information is still so new. I had heard that she got the cops were able to track her down, the ones that showed up first, and they were able to neutralize her, so she couldn't harm anybody else. And that's the right thing to do. I'm very old school. You are too.
Yeah.
When you go out and you senselessly murder people, well, you forfeit all your rights. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be shown any quarter at that point.
No mercy.
I don't know if anyone's seen the new John Wick movie, but they're talking about rules of engagement, and it's no quarter. Well, when you're a mass shooter and first responders arrive on scene, well, they should show you no quarter as well. So, as you did to the victims that you laid on the ground. So,
being merciless.
Merciless.
You know, you have no pity. She had no pity, so none should be given. And that's my full opinion on it. I know they finna try to swing this story and take it away from the victims and make it about the guns, but hey, you can kill people with slingshots, rocks, and bricks if you throw it and hit them.
I don't see anybody doing mass shootings. I mean, this woman had two AR-15 type rifles in her possession.
I need to see that on video.
So, I mean, obviously, people commit mass shootings with AR-15 type rifles because you have a large capacity. Each round does a lot of damage. We've already spoken about this. You know, my feelings about it. You know, people, they want to make it about the guns. Well, let's talk about guns. I mean, but this is not we're going to get off topic. That's another topic for another day of the White and Ukraine. Today's Murder Monday, so we're going to quickly move on. Again, our condolences to the families affected. Even the family of the.
I'm praying for y'all.
Even the family of the woman who committed this heinous act, because I don't know what they're thinking right now, but you know, obviously, you know, she's somebody's daughter, or somebody's sister, whatever, somebody's loved one here, whatever, cousin, whatever, friend, and obviously those people are trying to make as much sense of this as we are, I'm sure. So, moving on quickly, we're gonna move on to this next story. We just talked about this. This just happened March 25th.
Hey, for all y'all motherfucking crazy women, or some of y'all who think y'all crazy.
This woman.
Hey, she got y'all beat, man. You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace to Mr. Jeremy Brown, man, because this was pitiful. This come out of Columbia, Mississippi, close to my hometown. You know what I'm saying? You know, come on, man. Go ahead, white face.
According to the story, I mean, I read a little bit about this. Khadijah Brown and her husband were arguing. They were having a domestic dispute of some kind, not physical, until she got physical. And when she got physical, it got real physical. And for some reason, they were on Facebook Live, airing their business out on Facebook.
She went Facebook Live. She wanted sympathy.
And she ended up shooting the man.
On the live, man.
On Facebook Live. I mean, and then started complaining about how she was going to go to jail. I mean, you know, some of these stories that we read, it's like, it doesn't even, like, it's so unbelievable that you're like, no way this should happen. There's no way. This shit you see in movies.
And it happens.
And you're like, crazy. This shit's never going to happen in real life. No one's ever going to go on Facebook Live and kill their, like, significant other over some bullshit. But
so, question.
It happens.
Question, White Bridge. So, since she went Facebook Live, to me, that should automatically take out the crazy plea. You wasn't crazy. Because you chose to go live so you could get these views and go viral.
It's going to be up to a jury to decide, but obviously, like we were just talking about.
I'd be glad I can't serve on the jury. Not down in Mississippi.
She shouldn't see the light of day. As far as I'm concerned, she should not see the light of day. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm going to change my mind.
Dirty SOB, y'all.
Khadijah Brown, rest R.I.P. Jeremy Brown. If you
R.I.P. Jeremy.
Seen the story, look it up.
Look it up,
out of Columbus, Mississippi. Happened Saturday.
Green Tree Apartments, y'all. Y'all know about it.
Saturday.
Yeah. What we got?
You know what? You know, I was looking just looking for some topics today, and you know, and this is crazy, but I googled police kill unarmed man. I just Google that, just police kill unarmed man, and we can get weeks of content just off that one Google search, right?
Absolutely.
So right here we're gonna. I just picked one. I just was reading through some of the headlines, and Louisiana police officers out of Baton Rouge for fatally shooting an unarmed black man. This man has been arrested. The police officer has been arrested and charged with crimes in association with him shooting this man in a domestic disturbance. After reviewing the evidence of the officer's body cam, the
state trooper or body cam,
the state police. No, he was a local Shreveport officer. The man who was charged.
No, I'm saying
the state police. The
state police body cam that was warned is what gave them all of the evidence that they needed.
And the state police quickly moved to their we talk bad about the police when they do bad acts. Well, maybe we should talk good about them sometimes when they do a good act. And the state troopers in Louisiana were quick to move and to charge this man with negligent
23
homicide.
years old now. Killed a 43-year-old man.
Yep.
Crazy, man.
The guy ran. I mean, but when you run from the police, that doesn't mean that you should die. And unfortunately, this happened to this man, 43 years old. He was threatening his family, whatever. It's, again, we don't know what the state of mind was. We don't know what the circumstances were. Again, not something that you should die for. This happens all the time. People have arguments all the time.
But now, I guess if we the police now, y'all, and we respond to something, and your wife or your husband tell us, or this person's wife and their husband tell us, yeah, they loaded up on something, and he came at me, and I felt like he was gonna kill me and the baby. So if the police choose to go out to actually look for this person that we've already been forewarned that is doped up on something. Because that's what the wife told the police. Now, he's doped up on something. Yeah. He came at me and the kid. Hey, so, and I'm not that's no justification for the man losing his life. Because if she didn't say he was armed, that's different if she had told him, yeah, he has a gun and he looked like he high, he on some whoop-de-whoop. But I don't think that was said to that degree. So, but rest in peace to the man, and glad to see justice is starting to come along slowly but surely.
I mean, hopefully, all right. So think about this for a while. Like, police need to be held accountable, right, for their actions, right? But like, say I go out with you, right, and we go to a place, and while we're inside the store, you decide all amongst yourself to just pull out a gun, rob the store.
Right.
I'm just standing there with you. I don't do nothing, but I just leave with you. We get in the car, we leave.
Right.
The police chase us down the street. They catch us. They're not just gonna arrest you.
No, you're going to.
Why?
Because you're
accessory, right? I'm an accessory, right? I'm an accessory, right? So I see that they're starting to charge multiple police officers with crimes, right?
Yeah.
Now, it needs to be broken down to the most simple crime, though. Like, I've seen videos of police officers hitting people in custody and other officers immediately reacting and arresting that cop.
Okay.
My thing would be is like, if you witness one of your fellow police officers doing a crime and you don't do anything about it, you should be an accessory. Just like me being an accessory, even if it's the most simple crime. Right. You still didn't do anything to stop it, and that's the definition. That's why they would charge me, right? Because I didn't try to stop you. Even though I seen you do what you were doing, me not saying anything means that I'm compliant with what you're doing, and I therefore agree with what you're doing, and I'm not trying to stop you. I'm not gonna help you, but I'm not gonna stop you either. So I'm just gonna jump in the car and act like you did nothing wrong.
Well, I got a question here. So take that same officer who didn't say anything.
Yeah. Now,
I don't know. I've never been a police, but I have done security, and I do know if I'm on site and something goes down, I got to have everyone's name, stuff like that, for my report. The same way the police do.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming if the officer is still there who chose not to say something, that officer still has to either put it in writing saying something. Yeah. I know what you're saying because you may have the chance to save someone's life by speaking up.
I think a lot of these problems could be solved if the blue wall fell down and these police officers started policing themselves.
I just know that police is like a fraternity, and one thing for sure, they all know where each other is and where they be and where they stay and their families and all of this. And some police stick together better than others do. And some police refuse to let anything happen to their fellow compadres. That's why I'm asking about the statement, though. If that police is on the scene, that person gonna either have to tell the truth or tell a lie in their statement.
Yeah.
And if you go along with the narrative, then that's when the accessory.
The penalty should be harsh.
Yes, because you have a lot of people just don't want to be the one who has to be looked at like the snitch. Think about how the police tell people on the street, you should snitch. Okay, so what's the difference in this situation when the police who's standing there, like he said, and witness you being overly aggressive, abusive, you know, and violating this person's rights.
And
all
another
of it.
cop shows up and sets it straight. That would cause the community to start trusting the police a little more if they saw other cops policing cops. And I that's one of the biggest problems that we have in this country. That's why there's so much mistrust with the police. But from my opinion, I don't get prejudged by the police. I don't have that happen.
So you got the complexion for the connection.
I have the complexion for I'm gonna get a warning and be sent on my way most of the time, unless I'm doing something completely stupid. But and I don't have to comply with every ridiculous order that a police officer gives me.
Yeah, see, you can cuss the police
I don't have to worry about like 20 of them showing up and fucking shooting me to death.
Yeah.
Shoot me. When we did that story about that guy, how many times did the cops, remember they all like unloaded the clips on him, shot that dude like 137 times or some bullshit like that? Stupid. And moving on, we're starting to run long on these stories here. But like I said, we got plenty of these to do. And you know, fortunately, with the topic that we're talking about, it doesn't really. The stories don't lose their value. People, somebody losing their life should not be judged by the timeline.
But you know, this next one comes out of Rockdale County, man.
No,
triple homicide. You know,
this is Georgia now.
Conyers, Georgia.
It's a couple of states away from us.
Conyers.
We're in North Carolina, but a 21-year-old man for some reason decided to kill his entire family.
And then tell the folks, I don't think I killed all. I know I killed two.
That's what he said. He said, I killed two.
I know I killed two. All of them, I did that.
He ended up killing
21 years old, y'all.
His parents and his sister, unfortunately, were the victims here. From all the accounts, it was a gruesome scene. You know, he's charged with aggravated assault and 3 counts of felony murder.
This is crazy, man.
This is his family. I mean, come on, man. I mean, now this isn't even the craziest.
Now who gonna put some money on your books, dummy?
Now this is the crazy part about this is this isn't the most ridiculous, fucked up story we're gonna talk about today. You know, right? I mean, this is. I mean, we got a couple of doozies coming, and this one just is. I mean, you got a 51-year-old parents, 50 and 51, and a 17-year-old daughter / sister.
This shit crazy, man. Because you killed all 3 of them and said, "No, I killed 2. I don't know what happened to the other."
Yeah.
You know, that went on me.
Yeah. The police have been called out there before, but you know, obviously you don't get all the details. But there had been domestic disturbances there before. I don't know if it involved the son. The son's name's Jalen Gray. The other.
And looked like he finna go to jail and get his ass whooped. You didn't kill the only folks who were gonna be there for you.
Yep.
You big dummy.
Big dummy.
You big stupid. You about a stupid motherfucker. You know that?
And it's such a waste.
And you ain't tough.
Waste of life, man.
I wish y'all could see his picture. You ain't tough, bro.
Now,
I ain't pleased.
Now, what I want to talk about next is something that happens in my neighborhood. You've heard about this. Kids walking through the street, walking up and down the streets, trying to open car doors, right?
Yeah.
Well, in Allentown, PA, right? We had an incident happen where 2 men tragically lost their lives. One was a resident who was a watchdog of the neighborhood, community watchdog. They found 5 cameras on this guy's house, monitoring the street, monitoring his driveway, monitoring the door, monitoring all things. And I guess he's seen these kids on his camera, these guys walking up the street, just pulling door handles. There was a group of kids. Well, he went out there. He must have been armed. And one of the people who was pulling the door handles was armed. Yeah. And they got into a good old-fashioned gunfight. And they both ended up dying from the injuries sustained here. And you know, things like this happen in my neighborhood. Not people going out and getting shot in the street, but kids running up and down the streets, popping door handles. and this is a citizen who took the law into his own hands, you know. And unfortunately, he lost his life, and so did one of the people who was attempting to rob people out of people's cars. So
hey, my grandmother always said, you get more time for stealing than you do anything else, and sometimes cost you your life, man. You get caught, man, and you know, I hate that it broke down like this, you know. And one thing for sure, let that sir know you can't take nothing that don't belong to you. Keep your hands to yourself. Mm-hmm. Put them in your pocket. So that way you ain't got to worry about grabbing on nobody's door handles, getting your ass blowed off. Cause that's what happened in this case. And I mean, it's just what you would do if somebody pull on your door handle and you sitting in the car.
Unfortunately, I don't
and you got a gun.
You know, and
somebody about to die.
And when you think about it, this guy that went outside who's just, you know, looking out for the neighborhood, you know, and you say, you know, this is where you got, this is again, you know, they. Needless loss of life. This guy's probably a good guy. You know what I mean? Like 39 years old.
Yeah.
You know, younger than us.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he lost his life. And condolences to his family. Another story that.
Yeah. And you know, I hope y'all starting to see a trend on this. That it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, even though they highlight quote unquote black on black crime. This shit is really running rampant in the country. So, you know,
ridiculous.
I will say this. What if that man who shot the young man who shot back and they killed each other, but what if that man didn't have no gun? Somebody would have woke up and lost the vehicle.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the vehicle is worth more than somebody else's life, but if you don't value your life on nothing, then I mean, if your life means nothing to you, why should it mean anything else to somebody else?
Well, and like you said, some people are just, and the guy was out there trying to protect where he lives. Some people, you know, there's a lot of people out there who have a strong community feeling, and they want to have their community safe, and they don't like this bullshit. And most of the time, you're going to go out and the kids are going to run off, and it's going to be some harmless kids. Well, this time it wasn't a group of harmless kids. It was probably some desperate people in survival mode, like we've been talking about, right? And desperate times make people do desperate things, and that's what we're seeing a lot of here. Moving on to the next story. You keep on sending me these stories, man, and you know I do a lot I sharing, like I talked about.
I'm telling you, man.
And I keep on, and where did it go? I'll get it back. But you sent me an Uber driver that got killed.
Yeah.
Again.
And let that be. You know, I send this because I know my friend does it. You know, and I just want him to be aware. It's not to spook him, but always keep your spidey senses lit.
And then what did I say to you when you sent me the story? I said that, you know, there's a reason why I don't drive at night. You know, because I don't want to be, you know, at night. Doing the rideshare stuff is when you make the most money, but it's also could be the most dangerous time because you're catching people in not their right state of mind, you know. And that's what happened to this man. It was at nighttime. This guy was a family man, former Marine, served this country, and it's unfortunate that his life ended at 1:30 in the morning at a 7-Eleven. He got into an argument with the people. There was 2 people in his car. He got into an argument.
Got to fighting with him, didn't?
And he got into an argument with him. Got into a fight with him.
Fist fight.
Pulled out. Pulled into the first place he could find. I'm gonna assume. And got out of the car. And one of the guys had a gun. Pulled it out. Shot him. Then they ended up taking his car and leaving the scene.
Bullshit, man.
So I mean, left him there to die like a piece of trash. And this guy was a family man. He did 3 tours in 4 years, Iraq and Afghanistan, and then he comes over here and gets killed just because he's trying to make money for his family. Like me, that's why I do it. I go out, I try to promote my nonprofit, the Maryland Arena Foundation.org. Check out the website. But I go to do that, and I try to make some money for my family. I don't want to lose my life just trying to go make money for my family, especially if it's some bullshit. I can see if I get in a car accident or something, that fucking happens.
Then, you know, I'm like this.
But, you know.
If you know that you don't, you can't be trusted.
Look at this
We
guy.
know ourselves better than anybody else. You know if you can't be trusted. If you can't be trusted, then you need to do everything on your own. Drive yourself wherever you got to go. Yeah. You need to be able to do everything on your own. Because if you got to kill somebody for trying to keep you straight while you choosing to be lazy, then I don't know what else to tell you. Because you killing somebody who like White Bread just said, just trying to feed their family, man.
He's got two kids.
Come on, man.
Veteran. That guy didn't deserve to die that way, man. I'll tell you, man. It's stupid.
All I can say, be careful. Be careful. Those of you who are choosing to take people's lives without any type of thought or anything, there will be no mercy spared on your life. I'm here to tell you.
All right, now we're starting to run the show on time, and I know I want to talk about this story.
Right.
Like I said, we got plenty of stories, so we got plenty of Murder Mondays coming. But this last story that we're going to talk about, I'd like to take the rest of the time and talk about this because this Texas man,
out of good old Texarkana.
This guy's name's DeAndre Flanagan.
Stupid motherfucker.
If you care to look this story up.
Hey, all I can tell you,
we're gonna go over it quick.
Love on your kids. Take every moment you can to love your kids.
So you got a guy and you got a couple of adults here, a man and a woman who are having a tumultuous, toxic relationship, and they have a two-year-old daughter. Okay. This guy goes to the daycare, takes the daughter out of daycare, drives to the mother's work, has the daughter, 2 years old, threatening the daughter, saying he wants the mother's phone. He wants access to the mother's phone. He thinks that the mother's cheating on him or whatever. Freaking out. The mother gives him the phone, gives him access to all the thing. The guy leaves with the child, like all pissed off. Before he gets in the car, because obviously the police were called. Yeah. The police were on the way. And he takes this 2-year-old girl, and before he got in the car, I guess he hit her with something. Then he started to FaceTime. He FaceTimed the mother, FaceTimed the mother and the grandmother?
Grandfather.
Mother and the grandfather. We'll go through the story now. Around 10 a.m., Monday, March 20th, so this just happened last week. Flanagan took his daughter out of daycare and barged into a nearby Walmart, according to the Houston Police Department. There, the defendant allegedly confronted Watson, who was the mother, and began threatening her, demanding her phone, passcodes, and other related information. Basically threatening to hurt the child if she did not turn those items over. She complied. She made an attempt to try and rescue her daughter from his stronghold, but she was unable to do so. At that point, DeAndre Flanagan struck her possibly a couple of times to the face and continued to flee the location. The defendant left with his daughter, his own phone, and Watson's phone. After that, law enforcement contacted and quickly honed in on the location by tracking the phone. A 45-minute-long chase ensued, spanning 30 miles. Flanagan drove erratically with the child in the car. Obviously didn't care about the child. The child, we're going to get to that. Finally caught up with the red Camaro that goes traveling all the while without a seatbelt on.
Yeah, White Bread, but hold on.
Go ahead. Finish it. I don't even. I can't even get through this without.
The baby mama said this, y'all. She said in her interview, and look it up. She said that she had left him alone, and he had been jealous. Wasn't no co-parenting evidently, because if he's going to have the child be with the child, and I know some folks like this, and I'm sure y'all do. And it's not to bash the men, because you got great fathers out there. We just spoke about one in the previous story that we just spoke of. But, some fathers really believe that if they're going to do for their own children or their own child, that they got to still be fucking the baby mama. And she said that he wouldn't take no for an answer. So when he did go live, she said, I saw my daughter in a bloody mess, meaning he had she told the news reporter, he hit my baby with something and split her head wide open, and then he strangled the baby. On
FaceTime.
On live, y'all.
On FaceTime. FaceTiming the mother and the grandmother or the grandfather. I'm trying to figure out, but one of the two people witnessed this 2-year-old girl being strangled while he's in a high-speed chase with the cops.
Yeah. And then this same coward gonna need to go to PC when he go to jail, though.
And he unharmed.
Hey, he gonna go to PC for the next 30, 40 years, y'all. Spending taxpayers' money. How much it is a year? 30-some thousand?
About 50,000 a year average.
You know, we got to spend that type of money for a person like that.
Piece of shit.
You know, and you kill your own daughter. You ain't shit, man. I ain't gonna wish death on you. I'm gonna let it happen to you on its own because I know it's coming your way.
I hope so.
Tupac did a song say I see death around the corner.
I hope so. I hope my motherfucker gets what he deserves. I
mean, for real, man. This man here couldn't take no for an answer. You mad. You come up to your gal job, then shot off. She scared. Her manager scared. She get a man the damn phone. She said this man told her he was going to beat the shit out of the baby right there on the spot if she didn't give him her passcode to her phone. She said, I gave it to him. That wasn't good enough. He steady kept going. These folks done called, the job had to call the police, man. This man up here acting a goddamn fool on the girl's job. Because you mad because this woman done moved on, man. She said that they were done. And they were trying to co-parent. He done went and picked the child up without her knowledge.
Yep.
You just walked through the door with the baby.
Stupid.
And she knows she dropped her baby off at school. Not knowing that was going to be the last time she laid eyes on her daughter when this fool walked up out the damn store with her damn child, man. You ain't shit, man. And I mean that. You know, this should be blasted all over the national news, y'all. Another one out of Texas, white bread. Remember?
Texas,
hey, Texas, man. Texas, whoop. They ruthless, boy.
Texas is crazy, man.
My goodness.
It is fucking crazy, man.
Man. But you know, it's just like I told him, you know, I could do this all day, and I hope that this is bringing some awareness. People need some talking to, cause if these people are not able to have an outlet to be able to get whatever they got going on in their mind, if they can't get it out, man, people gonna lash out. And I hate to put any type of, you know, ulterior motive behind anything, you know, but I mean, damn. Some people think about killing their damn self. So if they wake up and want to kill you, that's easier to do than killing their damn self.
My grandfather told me a lot of things. One of the things he told me, he goes, someone tries to kill themselves, let them do it, because the next time they're gonna take somebody else with them. That was one of my grandfather was an old timer, and he just has a few things about him, and man, I don't know. World's crazy, man. All these stories we talk about today, this is really a lot of depressing stories we talked about today, but we're just trying to shed some light on what's going on out there and make people aware of.
We're going to be the national news if the national news don't want to report this.
This is crazy. There's some crazy stuff going on.
It shouldn't take it to be just a mass shooting for these things to be brought to our attention, because some of these people live right around you. A lot of these people work with you. You know what I'm saying? Or some of these people wherever. We got fans everywhere. Shout out to all the fans, subscribers. Keep hitting that button. Keep sending them stories. Keep leaving your comments on the Instagram, the YouTube, man. The Wheat and White Bread. We're here. We're here regardless of
trying to make something happen.
Or what, so. You know. But for all of these families that have been spoken about, good or bad or indifferent in these stories, man, my heart goes out to you.
Yep.
You know, because not only all of them are victims, every last one. Yep. And, you know, they got to have something put in place to be able to give these people an outlet to be able to speak about things. And it needs to be 24 hours. You know, it needs to be 24 hours. Whatever it is, that way, because you just never know what a person is carrying in their knapsack. Yeah. Walking on the journey through life, and they miserable, they unhappy, they frustrated, they see life as not being worth shit.
A lot of people out there with that attitude.
And these are the main people who really need to be talked to.
Yeah.
You know. So my heart goes out to all of you. You know, and from the Wheat and White Bread, man, we need to get better, y'all. We need to find some type of way to start to get better, and communication starts every process.
Yeah.
You have to start communication before you can be able to do the evaluation. And that's real.
Yeah.
So for everybody, man, from me, from White Bread, hey, we love y'all. Be safe.
Be safe, man.
And slow it down. Slow it down. If you get high, if you get drunk, if you do your thing, you gamble, whatever your vice is, just slow down, man, a little bit. Yeah. Don't be in such a hurry to do every fucking thing, and then you get mad when you actually done did some shit, and now you're ready to just say fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how bad your life is, it's still worth living.
Yeah. Absolutely. Would
you agree or disagree? You agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, your life's still worth living, regardless of how fucking bad you might think it is.
People should value life, you know, a little more than what we're seeing here. So, with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up. If you like what you're hearing,
Murder Mondays, y'all.
Click that like and subscribe.
It'd be
button.
rough to do these, y'all.
Oh man,
sometimes man.
So we're gonna try to come back in about a day or two.
Yeah.
With a what if, we're gonna
we got some good what ifs for y'all.
We got a new what if coming.
You know.
But we'll get back at it. Keep tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. And we'll be back at it sooner rather than later.
Man, y'all pray for each other out here, y'all. For real.
See ya.
Peace.